Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Clockwork Cantina. I am one of your hosts, Josh902, and this is the other host of the show.
I'm DT3. What's going on, everybody? Let's go.
What is up, guys? The moment I changed everything over, I dropped a billion frames. So sorry for the little bit of lag that's happening at the moment. It will straighten out. Yeah. Today we'll be talking about Marvel's Secret Invasion. In the second half of the show. In the first half of the show, we have our usual news and things and stuff going on. Also, we did not have a show last Monday due to some things that I will talk about happening in what we've been up to. Because boy, it's a doozy if you don't know the story. But yeah, DT, anything to say or do before we get started? Anything I may have forgotten because it's been like a week since we did this show?
I don't know. It's been a couple weeks since we did this. I don't even if it feels like it's been a while, to be honest.
It feels like it has, doesn't it? We've only missed a week, right? We didn't miss. Did we miss 2 weeks? Am I on crack? Did I forget? I'm not on crack, but I don't know. I think yeah, I had no power, and then we did Last Ronin the week before. So anyway, I want to make sure we didn't skip 2 weeks and I didn't fuck something up. Anyway, let's go ahead and just hop into it. DT, what have we been up? What you been up to, buddy? What you been going? What's been going on? What's happening?
Gaming wise, Fortnite 7 days. Although 7 days, I think last time we were here, I mentioned how I had really kind of cooled down on that.
Yeah.
Played some Payday 2. I had a key for this game called Sticky Business that I tried out. I finally beat Assassin's Creed Unity on stream. Thank goodness for that. Remnant 2, been playing a lot of that as well since it came out. And that's been pretty cool. I played a little bit of Rocket League for the first time in like forever. Like years. Played a little bit of Valorant as well. And then with the release of Nicolas Cage on Dead by Daylight, I've been brought back into the world of DVD. So I've been playing that a little bit. And that's been honestly not it's been kind of fun. So sometimes I feel like you just need a big break from a game before you get back into it.
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, those are the games I've been playing. TV show wise, I mean, obviously besides Secret Invasion that we're gonna be talking about. What else did I watch? Oh, finally finished Carnival Row season 1, so that's been cool. What else? Not much else TV show wise, to be honest, apart from that.
Gotcha.
There's like a bunch of other stuff I need to do, but yeah, just or watch rather, but I just haven't. Movies I've been watching, of course, a lot of movies as per usual. I watched Fury 2014, Primer from 2004, Sanjuro, the Kurosawa movie, Some Kind of Heaven. This is a documentary from a few years ago. Last Action Hero, Orphan First Kill, The Salvation, Willy's Wonderland. Actually, I forgot to mention I did watch that UFO doc on Disney Plus. That was kind of interesting. I kind of fell into a rabbit hole of like UAPs and all this kind of shit with the hearing, and before that and all that. So I watched that, and I watched the Moment of Contact, and it's interesting stuff. But continuing on with the movies, I watched The Book of Eli, Eraser from '96, the Arnold movie. The Stephen Curry doc that came out recently. Catwoman Hunted, animated DC movie. Joyride, which was wild. They Clone Tyrone, which also recently came out. And then I watched a super old ass movie from forever ago. I watched 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea from 1916, and boy, that was a trip watching that. I just like, just in general, watching anything like it kind of amazes me. Like you're watching this thing from like over 100 years ago, you know? Like these people are long gone, and they, were out here making movies, obviously, silent film, but just the way that they used to do stuff back then, and just it's just interesting, like just seeing a movie from 1916 that's from so long ago, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's pretty much been what I've been up to um past couple weeks. Um but yeah, I know you got some stuff to say, so
All right.
go ahead, man.
So for those of you that were watching me play Final Fantasy 16, Yorko was there when this happened. This happened on July, I think it was the 20th. Yeah, because I got power back on the 20th, or sorry, internet back on the 27th. And it was the day before my birthday. Friends, let me tell you that the biggest storm since 1985 hit my county, and I was live on Twitch when it happened. There is no. I didn't realize how bad it was. At one point during the stream, I was like, "Oh, it's raining," and I was trying to find that so I could clip it because I thought it'd be funny to have. And we were playing Final Fantasy 16. We were in the middle of a dialogue, and just all the power cut off. And then it came back on for a minute. So my PC actually booted up, but I realized this is a terrible thing to continue doing, and I turned the PC off. At which point the power went out completely for 2 days. We got it back on like Saturday the evening, I think. So from my birthday, which I was gonna do a birthday stream that I didn't get to do on July 21st, had no power.
Dang.
Had no power on the 20th, and had no power for most of the 22nd. And they finally got power back on, and which is great because I don't know if you guys have ever tried to sleep when it's 90 plus fucking degrees. I know DT probably has, but it is miserable. It's absolutely miserable, isn't it, DT? It's awful. It sucks so bad.
In 90-degree weather at nighttime with no fans, and basically just like leave your window open is just,
it's awful.
it is not a good time.
No.
It's not a good time.
So the whole family was dealing with that, which means that we were kind of like really grumpy with each other for a couple days. Like, obviously we knew, like, we're all going to be grumpy with this, all right? So don't take anything we say with too much, don't put too much stock in it, because we're just really annoyed right now at the whole situation. So I got power back eventually, which was nice. I could play the Switch. I could play the Switch without power because it was charged up. I was playing Hades and stuff. To kill, because it's just like, it is so weird. And this will go on. I didn't have internet for a week after this, by the way. I didn't get internet back until I think it was the 27th. So I went a whole week cut off from the entire world. Aliens could have landed, and I would not have known it unless they landed in the backyard. So it's so like weird how much you lose when you don't have like an outside connection to the world. But it was also like weirdly freeing of like, I have no responsibility right now because there's nothing I can do about it, right? Like, it's like I had no choice but to go without internet for a week. Like, so once I got power back, I played, obviously on the Switch, I played Hades, which I always hop into Hades if I have like a power outage. It happens sometimes, so on the Switch. And then once we got power, we watched sort of movies. Like, I watched like the old ass Planet of the Apes. Like, it was my nephew was like watching it for the first time, and we get to the twist at the end, like the old Planet of the Apes. You blew it up, you maniacs, you know, that whole part. And I was like, son, this was back in the day. This was the biggest twist in movies. Like nobody knew this. So we've been watching like kind of those old style Planet of the Apes movies to kill time when we got power back. Which thank God we got power back so quickly. So Planet of the Apes, Beneath the Planet of the Apes.
Man, them old apes movies are dope, dude. Like
they are. They're so much fun.
Honestly, like this is probably gonna be a hot take for a lot of people, but I honestly prefer the older ones more than the like 2010 ones because
no, I agree.
Yeah,
actually.
I just especially the original one. That to me is still like unbeaten. Like, that's,
those masks and the makeup is for a 1968 film. That shit holds up. Like that looks good. The way the actors move their faces to make the mask do things is crazy. Like even by today's standards, like it's kind of funny that we've all kind of not all, but like all the movies have kind of like we're gonna go heavy into CG and not as much practical effects anymore. And like honestly, I feel like we lose something when we do that. You know, like there is definitely like a loss of a little bit of believability when we lean into CG so much. But I love those old school Planet of the Apes movies. Like I grew up watching them. I was obsessed with them. Like I wasn't the only one. When these movies came out, there were people obsessed with them. That's why they have a billion sequels. Like, yeah, some of the sequels are hit or miss, but they're still fun to watch. Like I still enjoy them. So yeah, well, watch Planet of the Apes, watch Beneath the Planet of the Apes, and I'm gonna watch the others too because it's like now I want to watch the whole series after watching those two. The other thing is I have a Blu-ray set. I'll show you guys what I have here. I have it all. So another thing I did while when the power came back on, but I didn't have internet, is I cleaned everything in here. Like you guys can't see it because I have the background on, but I have cleaned my entire desktops. Like it is nice in here. They look brand new, right? Like I've just cleaned. I went through a deep clean of everything. So I have one of these greatest hits movies right here that you can kind of see. It's kind of green screen. There we go. For The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and the Magnificent Seven. We watched all three of these while the power was out. Because
it's right there.
Yeah, exactly. Because I was just like, DT knows this because we were roommates at WaveCon, right? I sometimes have a hard time sleeping if I don't have like something on in the background, but unless I'm really really tired. So the problem with these movies is that they're so good I can't help but like watch them while I'm trying to fall asleep. So but yeah, we watched The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, the Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and the Magnificent Seven. I watched all three of those. And they were just like, God, they're so good. If you've never seen them, like go watch them. And then I also have Terminator 2, the Skynet edition, whatever that means.
Dang, dude, the Skynet edition. Whoa.
Yeah, that's what it says on here.
Dang, dude.
So it has two versions of Terminator 2 on here, by the way. It has the original version, and then it has a re-release with a bunch of like bonus scenes that they added in. And I watched both of them. Presented an explosive 1080p high definition. So that I love Terminator 2. The movie's so good. Like I could watch this over and over again and never get bored of it. It's so good. And then that's pretty much what I did until the power came back. We got the power back. I'm cutting out the boring stuff, which is like, you know, I just sat here, looked out the window, and daydreamed until I had power back, and until I had internet back, and then obviously having to talk with the internet company. That took 3 messaging opportunities to talk with them through messages, and then also took like 3 phone calls to get somebody out here because there's storm and all that was crazy. So they finally did that. And also they told me in a way that annoyed me, but also told me that there is fiber internet all around us, but they don't have it on this specific road. They don't have a terminal on this specific road yet. and they always say the people on like the road are the last people to get it. So that's why I don't have fiber internet here. And that's like, oh my God, you guys, they're like, there's a subdivision that's around me, and they're like, yeah, it has fiber all in there. I'm like, God damn it. Why don't I have it? That's not fair. Come on, I've been here longer. Anyway.
When's it gonna be my turn?
When's it my time? My time. Anyway, give me what I want. So yeah, that was the storm stuff. Like, once we got internet back, I'll tell you guys, like, the only person that I had the chance to talk to, because I have a phone, right? But I don't have, like, a plan or anything. I just use the phone for, like, Wi-Fi stuff. The only person I talked to during that whole time is our friend Juan, FamV, and hangs out in the chat sometimes. I messaged him with my mom's phone, because she has a phone plan. It's like, he messaged me back, and I was just, like, bombarding him with messages because I had nobody to talk to other than family, right? And you can only talk to your family for so long before you, like, you gotta go hide somewhere, and like, you know what I mean? Like, you can only be with somebody for so long before you kind of want to be not around them anymore. So I was just bombarding him with messages. But once I got internet back, man, it was so good to get back with the crew again and talk with everybody and prove that I am indeed alive. I did not die. I live. I'm alive. But yeah. That was kind of like why there's been no streams. That's why there was no show last week for a podcast, because I had no internet. I felt so bad not being able to message. Of course, DT knew what was going on by the point that it happened, but I still like think like I'm like, if something happens, I message him and I message like the tabletop crew if I can't be there. Like, hey, I don't have power, internet, or whatever. But I had no way really to do that this time. So, yeah, that's why there were like no shows for Blasters and Bandits, no show for podcast last week, and it was an ordeal. I'll tell you that. It was a little rough, I think that's the longest I've gone without power, like 2 days without power in a very, very, very long time, and that's definitely the longest I've gone without internet in many years. But yeah, I came back and getting back into the swing of things, trying to get caught up on everything too, like because a week without any of that stuff, it's like you lose so much. I came back and Twitter's not Twitter anymore. All right, it's X now, or whatever the fuck. Which whatever, yeah, that's stupid.
It's X, dude. You're gonna Zed on the X or what?
No, I'm not. Well, I guess I am because I don't have any choice. I'm just waiting. Here's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for all the social media. I'm waiting for the social media things to battle it out, right? And then I'm just gonna go with the winner. All right, I'm not swapping really yet at the moment. Like, obviously, I'll try to reserve names and things, but I'm just waiting for all the dust to settle so I can just go to the best one once this is over. Because I'm too old to be swapping around the 6 million different things.
Yeah,
it's a whole thing. They came back and somebody was talking about aliens or something. I still haven't gotten the full rundown on that, man. What that was about.
That whole, like, I kind of talked about it briefly a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
That whole hearing and stuff, man. It's a rabbit hole, dude. I fell down that rabbit hole.
I missed all of that.
It's fascinating stuff, man. Like, some of it maybe sounds a little outlandish, but like, I don't know, dude. I don't know. Some of that stuff, I'm like, I could totally.
Maybe we should do a conspiracy theory episode, or not even conspiracy theory, but like, you know what I mean? Like,
we should. I'm down for an episode, man.
All right, yeah, put it on the calendar.
We'll do that. Make it happen anyway.
Yeah, so like I said, fucking aliens could have landed and I wouldn't have known it because I joked with the guys. I said, what if I come back and like you guys were like, yeah, there's aliens and all this happened while you were gone? I'd be like, nah, you're full of shit. I'd be like, but what if it actually happened? Could you imagine? Oh my God. But yeah, to continue on because I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on me. Yeah. I watched Joyride with the crew. That movie is so funny. Like, I was losing my shit. Like, it's funnier than I thought it was going to be, and actually a little bit more heart than I thought it was going to. So, a good movie. Recommend it. Don't recommend it if you have kids around, but
I mean, yeah,
It's a raunchy
obviously,
comedy.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah. Punch Club 2. I picked up Punch Club 2 last night. You guys know I was playing the first Punch Club and enjoyed it quite a bit. So I picked up the second one. I'm having fun with it so far. I played a little bit. DT, I think, saw me playing it a little bit last night.
Yeah.
Full of references and things to stuff. And the last thing I've been doing this last week is our friend Paula and I have been talking about just tabletop stuff in general. And I was telling her about this D&D game I want to run at some point in the future. And we just started world building stuff together. So we've the past few days I've built. I can look actually. Let me look at my Google Sheets. I'll tell you. My Google Docs rather, not Sheets. I'm not using Sheets. I'm using Docs for this. I've built. We have built rather. The main page that kind of talks about the campaign, and we've built out 4 major factions / houses, noble houses, over the past few days, and it is. I joked with her. I said, once we're done with this, we'll fucking put it in a book. I'm like, we'll just have our own. We'll have a setting book of just an interesting place to play a tabletop RPG game. So I've been doing that stuff, and it's a lot of fun to do just when I have some downtime, work a little bit on it, and move on to. Once my brain is like dried out, move on to something else for a little while. It's cool. Yeah. Not gonna put this in my notes, but goddamn, I can't wait for Baldur's Gate 3 as well on the 3rd. Like I'm gonna be crazy playing that game. So that's all I've been up to. That's it. That's the lot. That's it, man. That is it. DT, if that's all we got for what we've been up to, what do you say we hop on into the gaming news, bud?
I'm ready, dude. Let's make it happen.
All right, I've swapped screens. We are in the gaming news.
All right. First thing that we have today is that Overwatch 2 is going to be heading to Steam real soon. On August 12th, Blizzard announced. Other Blizzard titles also are going to be on the way. But the first of which will be Overwatch 2. In a blog post, they explained that they want to expand their reach to players beyond its proprietary PC launcher. It believes the free-to-play Overwatch 2 is the best game to kick off this major shift in the PC release strategy. There's no word on what other games are coming to Steam, but they say that they will announce them when the time is right. Battle.net is the home of all of our PC players, and over the years, we've evolved our platform to support updated technologies, capabilities, and our community's expectations. But as we've evolved, the industry has evolved too. Gaming is no longer just for specific communities as it was when Battle.net launched over 2 decades ago. Gaming is for everyone, and though we remain committed to continually investing and in supporting the Battle.net, we want to break down the barriers to make it easier for players to find and enjoy our games. Though you will still need a Battle.net account to play Overwatch 2 on Steam, as you do on all platforms, it will run directly to the storefront instead of simply acting as a middleman to run Battle.net. As confirmed by Blizzard President Mike Ibarra on Twitter, or X, I guess. Players will have access to the features of Battle.net, such as crossplay, but will reap the benefits of Steam, such as earning achievements. Blizzard states this move will not affect those who simply choose to play Overwatch 2 through Battle.net. But yeah, this is good news for Steam users who are interested in playing Blizzard games, but don't want to have to download another PC launcher to play them. So yeah, that's pretty cool. We'll see what other games end up jumping over, like Diablo 4 or WoW or anything like that. But if you had to guess, Josh, what other games do you think Blizzard will move over to Steam as well now that Overwatch 2 is headed over?
I think they'll throw their classic games on there if they're not already on there. Like the Warcraft 3 Reforged, I don't think is on there. You know, that remake as well. The Diablo 2 HD thingamajig or remake. I think it's HD remake thingamajig. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but that'll probably end up there if it's not already. Um, and maybe they'll just throw some of their old, like, really old classic ones on there. Yeah, yeah, that's that stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that. There's a lot of stuff that they could add on there. As for what I think is gonna be next, that's a good question, man. I don't know how soon they want to add Diablo 4 on
I'll be right
Steam.
back,
You
DT.
know,
You keep going.
yeah. And then as far as what other games they could do, I mean, I think the Call of Duties are already on Steam, so that was kind of like the first sign of their being, games that are gonna be moved over there. But or not moved, but also joining Steam.
I got you.
Um,
Sorry about that.
yeah, no, you good. I'm just trying to think of like, because there are there are some games more recently
Mm-hmm.
that obviously are on BNet and not on Steam. So I'm trying
Yeah,
to think of like what are maybe some more recent ones that they could do, you know? But I totally see what you mean as with the like, older uh, games it'd be cool if fucking Warcraft 3 made it on there, you know?
yeah.
Um that like as for like an older one, but
And I was wondering if this is gonna be like, if this is like a way before they're or bought by by Microsoft, right? Like, this is
mm,
kind of like it's all gonna be on Steam, but it's also gonna be on Game Pass when we get our hands on it, which all that's still ongoing. You know what I mean? Like, this might be a way to appease um, any troubles that might come up. Like, look, it's also available on this. It's not just available on our own thing. It's available on Steam, and it's available on it's standalone BattleNet, and it's available on Game Pass. You know, like it's that's kind of what my brain was doing a little bit. It was like I could see. I think everything eventually will make its way on here, um,
mhm.
just because it's a smart move to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Um, Definitely a lot of things they could bring over, but we'll see what they decide on.
Yeah,
Like that article said, they'll announce stuff when the time is right or when they feel like it. So it's a waiting game, but it's cool that they're finally bringing stuff over. Because I mean, I don't know for how long we've been saying that. Like, I wish things were just on one fucking you know launcher, like Steam, instead of having things all over the damn place. But
yeah,
anyway, we can move on from that. Let's talk about Gundam Evolution and how that's going to be shutting down in November. So, this is another game that I played it for a little bit, but it was just like it was ridiculous. It was absurd, man. Like just impossible to win, I felt like in that game.
mm,
From what I played of it. And then like yeah, they just a lot it was I think it was free to play, so a lot of it was like, you have to buy things and it's like, well, how many people are going to actually spend money on this game uh when there's so many other games that you could spend money on, But anyway,
yeah,
Gundam Evolution, competitive multiplayer game set within the Gundam universe, is shutting down despite launching less than a year ago on September 2022. Executive producer Kazuya Maruyama shared in a blog post that support for the game will be winding down, although he doesn't provide any specifics as to why. I mean, we can imagine why, you
yeah.
know, but this is what they say. We wanted to create a title that brought FPS fans and Gundam fans together. We challenge ourselves to create an authentic Gundam FPS game that would be played globally. Unfortunately, we have determined that it's no longer possible for us to provide a service that satisfies our players. I wonder why. A live stream detailing the sunsetting roadmap will aired on the 21st. Um, and the services will officially end on November 29th. Until then, Maruyama states that it will still receive updates. Season 6 arrives on August 23rd, and the final season hits on October 25th. Both seasons will introduce new units and maps. But yeah, I think, like I said earlier, it's just they there's all these games nowadays that are like free to play, live service. Uh, you know, spend your money on this kind of game, which is a lot of what we have nowadays, and they just like try them out and then they fail. And then it's like, oh, I wonder why they fail. It's because every fucking game nowadays wants to do that plan. So I'm not surprised that this one failed, but it is kind of crazy how it just lasted less than a year. And I feel like when it came out, there was like a good amount of people playing it, and the hype was like kind of there for it. But I mean, I guess that also happens in gaming where it's like, there's a game that releases, everybody talks about it for like a month or two, and then it's just never again, just dies off, you know. And I guess this is one of those ones. Um, like I said, for me, like I tried it out, I played it, but like I literally like remember playing it one time with like a friend, and then we just went on a big ass losing streak, and I'm like, this is just not even fun, dude. Like this is rough. And then they want you to spend money on this shit. So I was like, nah, I'm good on it. Even though some of that stuff was cool, but I mean, the thing with a lot of these like types of games, shit's just too much, man. It adds up too quickly. But anyway, that's it's Gundam Evolution. Another one bites the dust.
Yeah.
I forget. I don't think you ever tried this one, huh?
I didn't. I thought it looked kind of neat. I like Gundams, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It was like an Overwatch type game, and I'm just not into those really all that
Yeah, like an
much.
arena shooter, yeah.
Yeah. Like I'll hop on occasionally, play something with friends, but yeah. So I'm kind of glad I didn't get necessarily invested in it because it seems to be going down.
Oh yes, it will be. Yeah, I like those types of games, but that one was just, I don't know, man. It was rough, like I said. So just
Gotcha.
gonna move on to the next thing then. Um, we have 5 minutes of Atlas Fallen gameplay to check out. If you want to throw that up, check this out really quickly. I haven't seen this yet, so this will be
Yeah,
my
let's
first
check it out.
time
I haven't seen it.
watching this. Yeah, exactly, Majin. It had potential, it had promise, but they just didn't handle it right. All right, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
I'm kind of interested in this, so I hope this looks good.
Atlas Fallen is an action RPG set in a devastated, sand-covered world, ruled by an almighty and merciless sun god who drains the planet, leaving only dust on the surface. The lands of Atlas are dangerous and mysterious places. They are deadly to errant travelers, and you, until you find a divine artifact. This gauntlet is infused with the power to shape the sand, which might be just enough to face the sun god's wrath. Combat in Atlas Fallen starts with this gauntlet, your main source of offensive and defensive capabilities. It only takes a simple button press to cast attacks, and you can equip 2 main weapons
I'll be honest,
at the same time.
That little bit they showed looked kind of cool.
Powerful combos. Be versatile with the transforming Doom Cleaver. Unleash long-range strikes with the Sand Whip, or pound enemies with a flurry of fists using the Knuckle Dust. Mix and match any 2 of your preferred combat styles, and watch as each weapon evolves during combat, growing larger and more deadly. The action in Atlas Fallen is fast-paced, agile, and intense. Moving freely on most terrain, you rapidly jump into action, evade attacks, dash through the air, and enjoy truly dynamic gameplay.
Bam.
One of the most unique combat features is the momentum. Every successful attack builds your momentum and grants you the ability to perform special attacks or trigger a wide range of effects in combat. The more momentum you have, the more powerful your weapons become. Be careful, however, as the more your momentum increases, the more damage you take. It's an intricate risk and reward mechanic that constantly encourages you to analyze the fight and choose strategically when to cash in on your potential. Momentum is also heavily tied into playstyle customization in Atlas Fallen. On top of armor sets with different stats to collect and upgrade, and idols to pump up your healing abilities, the game also features more than 150 Essence Stones to completely shape your own way to play. A sandstorm that blows away everything in its path. A giant hammer falling from the sky. Mine traps. A great swirling kick. A leap forward to rush into action. Throwing devastating projectiles to keep your distance. The list goes on and on and on. Every Essence Stone combination offers a new way to enjoy fighting in Atlas Fallen. Whether you're an aggressive player, or you prefer shields, debuffs, and healing. Momentum is also cashed out for truly devastating attacks that obliterate enemies. These consume your entire bar, but always deal incredible damage to help you shatter body parts. All these combat tools and abilities will be crucial to face a wide bestiary of wraiths. From packs of small monsters lurking beneath the sand, to
sand monsters
bosses with more advanced movesets, combat requires you to adapt and play wisely. Target and attack specific body parts to incapacitate larger wraiths, disabling their attacks, and making them drop unique resources to further increase your potential. Of course, you don't have to be alone to face the gods. Atlas Fallen is fully playable in online 2-player co-op mode, from start to finish, with the least amount of restriction possible. Join any friend to enjoy the full story campaign together, and create builds with strong synergies thanks to diverse Essence Stones designed with cooperation in mind. Protect each other. Heal your partner's wounds. Atlas Fallen Co-op provides a fun and refreshing way to enjoy your journey.
All right.
Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more information and
So, Josh,
details
what do you think
about Atlas
I
Fallen.
think it looks kind of neat. I think it looks cool. I like the weapons, and it looks like there's a ton of customizability and ways to kind of build how you attack and stuff like that. I think the things that are going to hurt this game is like they don't really talk about the story a whole lot in here, so it's probably kind of shallow, I imagine. And when this game is coming out, I think that's going to hurt it really badly. There is a lot of stuff coming out in August, you know, like
yeah.
By the time this comes out, everybody that I know is going to be pretty deep in Baldur's Gate, you know, like, and people are still doing 16, and then they'll be getting ready for fucking Starfield, right? So I think the date that this comes out is gonna hurt it. But other than that, I think it looks cool. Actually, like I want to check it out. You know, like, and it's cool that you can play. Yeah, Baldur's Deep, Baldur's Deep, boys. We're gonna be deep in Baldur's Deep. Uh, it's cool that it's co-op. You know, like it's the type of thing like DT and I'll do a co-op game every once in a while. Like this feels like the type of game that would be for us to do a co-op game together. You know, like, so it's. I think it looks neat. What do you think?
Yeah, it looks fine. I mean, nothing like about it really like blows me away or anything.
Mm.
But like, yeah, that's what exactly what it looks like. It just looks like it'd be a fun like co-op kind of deal, you know.
Yeah, wait
So
for a sale.
so in
That's
that
probably a wait for a sale for
that
me. Yeah.
that way, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Unless they offer me a key, at which point I will not wait for a sale.
Well, I mean, yeah, you wouldn't have any reason to.
Yeah.
It's a lot of games I feel that way about though.
Yeah.
Like I'd play it, but you know, if you give me a key, I'll play it right. I'll play it ASAP. Man.
But yeah, I think it looks, yeah, Sea of Stars at the end of August as well. I do think it looks kind of interesting. I also worry, another thing I worry about these types of games are very tanky enemies with big giant health bars that take ages to kill, like, as well. I'm curious to see some reviews and maybe check out some streamers that'll probably take a break and check it. I imagine they'll probably have some sponsored streams of some kind that you can check out the game for some folks. Or maybe it'll be one of us that gets sponsored to check it out. Who knows? You never know. So
Let's see.
yeah.
We shall see. There's a few games that I've tried to grab keys for and I haven't heard back from yet. So
Yeah.
and then there's Starfield that declined like right away. I was like, man, fuck you guys. I still want to play your game though.
I was lucky. Last one I did I actually got, which was Jagged Alliance, which was a lucky. And that game's great. What do we got next, DT?
Next up, we have a Skull Island Rise of Kong game that has been announced. Starring King Kong, and it'll hit PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC later this year. According to publisher Game Mill Entertainment, the game is being developed by Iguana Bee and is a third-person action-adventure game set on Kong's home turf, Skull Island. As the name implies, you'll control Kong, take down dinosaurs, massive snakes, and other creatures vying for the top spot of the island. So let's check out this reveal trailer here. So when you're ready, let me know.
I am ready. Sorry,
And then, okay.
I had to swap screens.
Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, go.
There are stories of kings, stories of gods, and the stories of the beasts and their king. The story of Kong. But his legacy had just begun.
All right. So a few of the details about the game. is that the game itself will cost $39.99 for the standard edition, and there's going to be a digital deluxe called Colossal Edition that will cost $49.99, and it comes with 8 exclusive film grains to change the visual presentation of the game, 8 different color schemes for Kong, a boss rush mode, a behind-the-scenes pack with artwork and an orchestral soundtrack, and more. In Kong Island, or in Skull Island, Rise of Kong, players control Kong in a quest to avenge the death of Kong's parents at the hands of the ultimate alpha predator, the Saurian Terror Ga. You must fight against waves of primal beasts, unique bosses, and anything else in Kong's way. So, there you have it. Do you ever want to play a King Kong game where you just beat up other giant monsters? There it is.
Indeed.
Moving on from that, we have a new Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon story trailer.
I reacted to this.
I have not seen this at all, so this will be my first time checking this out. Let's check it out.
Let's do it.
3, 2, 1, go.
Peggy 12.
You again. You know, I'm not exactly craving company here.
Hounds now entering combat zone. Initiating phase 2.
So, what happened to 617 and the others? Fill me in, Handler Walter. Well, at least you're helping me clear my inventory.
Vital signs lost. Recalculating approach vector.
This one is functional, but don't expect much more.
I'm not here to talk. Wake it up.
Dang, that dude got fucked up.
Right? Also, that fucking big
Thing
tank
is
is
huge.
huge.
That thing is massive. I think they need more mechs out there, man.
Updating target parameters. Phase 3. Pattern E. Lost. Reporting to Handler Walter. Mission complete. 621. I'll give you a reason to exist. Let's get to work.
Well, seems to me like they need more mechs out there to help with that big ass tank, dude. I don't know.
This is one of those story trailers that it's like it's a story trailer. I have no idea what the fuck is going on. Like I have no idea what's going on. Like is he
I don't
being
know, man.
uploaded into that mech or what the hell's going on? You know, like. But I am interested in Armored Core for sure.
Having played none of the previous 5 before this, it seems interesting, but yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully, I can get a key for that too, because if I do, I'll definitely stream it and play it. You know, but so if anybody out there is listening that has the ability to do so, you know, hook your boy up with a key. I'll play it. I'll give it a try. A try and a shot. Come on. All right. Speaking of story trailers, we have a story trailer for Marvel Spider-Man 2. And then we also have the bundle for we have a PS5 bundle for it as well. So let's
Check this out.
let's check it out.
I'm ready whenever you are, bud.
3, 2, 1, go.
A lot's happened in the last 10 years. It's a miracle I'm even sitting here now. I got a second chance. And I'm gonna take advantage of that. But I need you with me, Pete. We're gonna heal the world. Hey guys, this is my best friend Harry. Hey, good to meet you.
New job, huh? Still gonna have time for tutoring?
We'll figure it out.
I didn't know there were bears in these woods.
Hey, MJ. I have another name for you. Craven. He's here on some kind of hunt. No,
Man, I cannot get over how weird Peter looks to me, dude.
Yeah.
I'm just not used to that Peter, bro. I'm used to the other one.
All Miles talks about is how to
Like,
be a
I
better
shouldn't be
Spider-Man.
this weirded out by it still, but I am.
What the hell's going on with Pete? He's not himself. Go help him.
This was our dream.
It just feels like a different. It just looks like a different character, man.
Going to lose him.
We're going to heal the world.
MJ, I think she looks different because she has a different hairstyle than she did in the first game. But other than that, I mean, they might have changed up her face a little bit too. But I think it's still the same actress. I don't know. I'm not for sure on MJ either. But man, yeah, Peter just every time, dude, I look at him, that's just a different guy.
Right.
But yeah, so there we go, man. We got Craven and Venom in one game. It's gonna be wild. I look forward to playing this game in like 3 years when it comes to PC. But that looks pretty cool aside from the stuff that throws me off, which I mean is, you know, it's not a big deal, but that shit throws me off. Story wise, looks interesting. I'm really curious to see what they're gonna do with these characters. You kind of get a glimpse of that here in the trailer, but yeah, it's gonna be real intriguing. It looks real good. But we also have a PS5 bundle, the DualSense controller as well. Check that out right here. It looks pretty damn awesome, to be honest.
Yeah, it looks sick.
They have a short little like 38-second video for it.
Stop playing. Okay.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Miles, I need your help.
What is this stuff? Wait, Pete, I got an idea.
Nice. One more time. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty sick PlayStation right there.
Pretty clean design right there. Looks awesome. So for those of you still wanting a PS5, it's a pretty decent bundle right there for you. What is next? We have this is pretty cool. A Star Wars Outlaws behind the scenes crafting a galaxy of opportunity. So this came out at San Diego Comic-Con a couple weeks back.
Okay. Let's check it out. Ready when you are.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Working on a Star Wars game is a dream come true.
I've had all of the toys, and it's wild to go from making these little stories on the carpet to actually build a narrative in the Star Wars galaxy.
Massive Entertainment is the perfect choice to build an open world Star Wars game because it is inherent to their DNA as a studio to deliver on incredible open world experiences.
Massive Entertainment are master storytellers for open world games. This is going to be a fresh experience for Star Wars fans everywhere.
Immediately I had that in my head, all the possibilities of where do we want to go, what can we bring to Star Wars that has not been seen before.
Lucasfilm Games suggested that the perfect era to set Outlaws would be between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
What's great about that point on the timeline is this is a moment where the civil war between the Empire and the Rebellion is at its height. And this creates an environment across the galaxy where Outlaws can thrive.
That's the world that Kay is stepping into, and she sees the opportunity just like anybody else.
We will see some really cool syndicates, both from existing lore and newly created for the game.
When you play Star Wars Outlaws, you get a chance to discover what the underworld is like and live through those experiences.
The stakes are definitely very high for Kay's journey through the underworld, but she learns, she adapts, she sneaks around, and she finds herself in very important spaces with very powerful people.
Building the world of Star Wars Outlaws, first thing we had to do was think of places where outlaws thrive. These hubs of scum and villainy.
The most exciting thing is being able to go back to iconic locations that people know and love, but then diving into the Lucasfilm archives and really bringing them alive in a new but very genuine way.
It's not just about recreating Tatooine as you know it. Going back to the classic sources of spaghetti westerns, we try to recreate an authentic mood and feel as we build new points of interest to follow the already established history.
And there is a new location that we collaborated with Massive Entertainment on called Toshara.
Yeah, Majin.
And this has been built from the ground up with the scoundrel
She kind of looks a little
fantasy
different.
at its
The character looks a little
heart.
different than the actress, but I don't know.
Our goal
Maybe that's
is
something
that
they'll continue
you
to
feel like you're stepping into Star Wars, and that
kinda
means going back to those
adjust or
Macquarie
whatever, but
concepts, going back
yeah,
to Joe
for sure.
Johnston's storyboards,
I'm down
Phil
for that
Tippett's
too. So
creature
that's
designs,
dope.
and creating a lived-in galaxy.
We're trying to create a world that feels alive and bustling with opportunity, that also is very grounded. And we're getting inspiration from the African savannah. But we still want to add the alien element. And that is what makes it feel like Star Wars.
We want to give Tashara some elements that make it really stand out in the Star Wars galaxy. So there are windswept plains, veins of amberine, and there's a vibrant city called Mirogana that's built into a huge rock that's been carved out by the wind that's ever present on Tashara.
One thing that we need to always keep in mind is there's always a connection between the biome and what grows there, what lives there, like the flora, fauna, and the culture of the people who inhabit the place. From how the plants pollinate, or how vegetation and local resources are used in local clothing and buildings, to even how the locals have adopted wind into their way of life. We have created everything with an authentic approach, so players will experience all these places like someone who actually is there.
We made it, Nix.
I can't wait to play this game.
We were
dude.
able to really build
so
out
damn
an
good.
authentic Star Wars world where you can travel, explore,
Kojimi.
and discover in a way that
can't wait to explore
we really
Kojimi,
haven't
man.
been able to
It's
experience
gonna
in modern Star
Awesome,
Wars
because
gaming.
we only got such a small glimpse of it in the movie.
The high-stakes scoundrel lifestyle and the open world promise allowed us to create a game.
The
within
space
Star
stuff looks
Wars
cool too,
that
man.
had
You can
never
go
been
from
done before. Not just
planet to
exploring
atmosphere
cities,
to
but
space,
also getting onto your speeder,
which we got to
and
see in
race
some of the
across stunning
reveal
wilderness.
gameplay.
Then jump into your ship,
At
the
Summer Game
Trailblazer,
Fest, which
and
is
go
pretty
on an
cool.
incredible adventure.
We've only scratched the surface of what Star Wars
And I'm
Outlaws
curious
has
to
to
see
offer.
what planets they create,
There is
because as
so
we
much
know,
more that you will get to
every new Star
embody
Wars
and use
project
and
creates their
play
own new
when you
planets,
become
as well as
KFS.
going to, you know, classic worlds.
Players are gonna love
Mhm.
Star Wars Outlaws.
Like obviously we're going
It's
back
gonna
to
be exciting.
Tatooine,
It's very
which, you know,
adventurous,
say what you want about that,
and
but
that's what makes it Star
it's
Wars.
iconic. So
So I'm very excited.
I
there's
want
a lot of stuff that
to.
goes on Tatooine.
I want to know those other crime syndicates, man. I could use them. You know,
Yeah.
we could use some blackers
I mean,
and bandits.
off the top of my head, you have the Huck Cartel, you have the Black Sun, you have the Crimson Dawn.
Well, I was talking about.
And
They said
then-
they were gonna make new ones. I want to know what the new ones are.
No, yeah. There are, yeah, for sure, yeah. That's. I agree with you. I'm really intrigued about that. It'll be cool having a game that's like kind of underworld smuggler, outlaw, you know,
Mm-hmm.
kind of vibe. So I'm about it. I'm so excited for that. I look forward to playing that.
Yeah.
Like from the moment I saw it, I was just so ready for that. But yeah.
Yeah, that looks great. Looks awesome. Can't wait.
And I just love seeing the behind the scenes of stuff and hearing people talk about it and all that. So yeah, of course, Majin. Like I said, Tatooine is such a like big, you know,
Mhm.
it's such a big planet in Star Wars. Like, you know, people always call it like a water hole or not a water hole, just like a shithole, basically, right? Of like planet, and people are always tired of going there. But it's like it's just one of those planets, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think instead of blaming stories on going to Tatooine all the time, we need to blame stories for making new desert planets. Because I bet you if there was less desert planets, we would not be feeling the way that we do. Or people would not
My-
be feeling the way they do in Tatooine.
My thing of Tatooine is like I'm just kind of sick of seeing it in like seeing it, but getting to play on it in a game is different, you know, than just seeing it like I'm there, I'm doing things on it. So I'm fine with Tatooine being in the game, even if I'm a little kind of sick of just seeing it all the time. I'm fine with it in a video game because I'm going to be in the game doing stuff on Tatooine, going where I want to on Tatooine, you know? So it's a little different for me personally, kind of speaking to that. So yeah, I think Tatooine's always a fun planet to have in Star Wars games, and I almost feel like it has to be in there in most of them in some way or form,
Yeah,
some
and
way,
I mean,
shape, or
like-
form.
And like the thing with Tatooine also is like we go to the sun of the kind of some of the same spots, so I can kind of understand why people feel the way about it, you know, because we always go to
Mhm.
Mos Eisley or Mos Espa and whatnot. Like we like there's so many other spots you could go to, man. There's like Anchorhead and like, you know, so like just things we haven't even seen. Like the thing that always is kind of crazy to me when we have these big planets is we always go to the same spots, but they're huge planets. Like there's so many other spots of the you know
Right.
thing we haven't gone to that they could go to that I don't know why we haven't done yet. But Maybe eventually. But anyway, let's talk about the final couple things here in our gaming news. Which, speaking of Final Fantasy 14 Online is going to be getting a new expansion coming in the summer of next year, 2024. Final Fantasy 14 publisher Squeenix and developer Creative Business Unit 3 have revealed Dawn Trail, the MMO's next expansion, and as it's going to hit the game next summer. They had a Final Fantasy 14 fan festival in Vegas with a new trailer showcasing the tropical new world known as Yogg-Toroil and many beloved characters hanging out there. Shortly after the reveal, Naoki Yoshida took the stage to discuss the expansion as part of the fan festival's keynote presentation. Yoshida says the logo for Dawn Trail was created by Yoshitaka Amano using the color gold, which is the theme color of this expansion. And you can check out the logo there if you want to throw that up really quickly, Josh, before we watch the video. Speaking to the story, Yoshida says, "We want to bring the very best summer vacation a hero could possibly have to the Warriors of Light. Without spoiling events of 2021's Endwalker expansion, Yoshida says Dawn Trail is a significant shift from the previous expansion, where Endwalker was dark. With the end of the universe on the line, Dawn Trail is brighter and seemingly lighter in tone. It's a new beginning of Final Fantasy XIV, and the theme is a journey of discovery. As you know, the arc we've been on from 1.0 to Endwalker about Hydaelyn and Zodiac has concluded. So yeah, let's check out this trailer here. It's like 2 minute 30 seconds. Whenever you're ready, Josh.
I'm ready. Fire away.
Let's do it. All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Blue seas, clear skies, and boundless possibilities. I dare say our destination will soon be in sight.
Oh man, they got a furry on board.
Enjoying yourself for a change?
Oh no, my video fucked up. It
Uh-oh.
froze. It broke completely.
Oh god, what the hell am I still playing?
Well, that's it,
Dang.
guys. It broke completely. I have no idea why that happened. I'm having issues with Game Informer videos for some reason. Oh man. No, we're not watching it on YouTube. Here we go.
Enjoying yourself for a change?
I wonder what the new job's gonna be. Two new jobs? He's got a taco.
Hey man, I'm down for like a summer vacation DLC or expansion kind of vibe, man. Let's summer 2024 is gonna be a good one, man. Let's.
Yeah.
I'm down to play this. I gotta catch up on the game because I don't remember where I left off. But
I'm way behind. Yeah.
Me and my little Lalafell homie are gonna be chilling big time.
Yeah, I definitely want to go back and play and get caught up, but there's so much there. It's kind of hard to at times, but man, it's all good. Like I enjoyed what I played, and I don't want to skip any of it because it's all story and cool character moments and cool shit happening, right? So
there's gonna be a growing light patch. 6.5 is what. So Final Fantasy 14 patch 6.5 growing light. 2 parts. Part 1 releases early October, and Part 2 releases mid-January of 2024. So October of this year, few months away, is when it'll happen. So that's probably when I'll jump back into it and try it out, and play it. So probably stream it and stuff too. So see how that goes. All right, one last thing here for gaming news is we got an announcement trailer for Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2. You remember when they came out with that Nickelodeon fighting game? Well, they're doing a sequel. And we got an announcement trailer for it, so let's check it out. This is coming to us from IGN. They got the exclusive on it. So whenever you're ready, my friend, we're going to watch it.
I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1, and go. I'm gonna look at Squidward being left out of the fun. he's oh shit, look at him, man.
Oh god.
Oh shit, handsome Squidward. Oh man. Bro, that's hilarious. No, not my boy Avatar Ong. Future. I love how Nickelodeon just embraces the memes with SpongeBob, man. Like I remember they literally released a line of like meme action figures for SpongeBob, and it was the funniest thing, dude. What are they adding besides Squidward? Oh shit, Jimmy Neutron? They didn't have him in the first game? How you not have Jimmy Neutron in your game, bro? I feel like he would have been a easy one to have in your game first time around. Better late than never, I guess.
Well, that's a thing.
What I want to know is are they gonna add the last Ronin skin for the turtles? Because that'd be pretty badass. All right. Well, that's our gaming news. So if you're ready to move on to the
TV news,
TV stuff, then we can go ahead and do that.
Yeah, let's go ahead and keep on. Let's just keep this ball rolling. What do we got first?
So the first thing for us is that we have the winning time season 2. We got a trailer and a poster.
It looks cool
to check out. So if you want to throw up the poster real quick. So you got Larry, Magic, everybody else all here in the circle. You got Kareem there in the back. You got Pat, Jerry. Oh, the Jerrys, because there's two of them, Jerry West and Jerry Buss, but
yeah,
and Jeannie, of course. But anyway, let's check out the trailer now.
Where's the trailer?
It's at the top, all the way at the top.
I don't. Oh, I didn't realize you could play that. I just thought it was a. I thought it was a poster. Okay,
No, that's
cool.
I was like all the way at the top, man. You just gotta click on it.
Okay,
It'll show up.
let's check it out.
All right, when you're ready.
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
Do you think the Lakers can win another title?
You bet.
Any advice for your opponents?
Better watch out. Magic back, baby.
Basketball's the sport of the decade. You got the kids on the team now. The Bus Empire's taking off.
We brought home the gold, but one ring ain't gonna keep us in that room. We gotta keep winning.
Look, Irvin, you know why nobody repeats. Because the guys that you beat along the way, they spent all that time figuring out new ways to break you down.
They're fucking girls. They're sissy fans. Beat LA.
We built this team to win. But things change.
I am in charge, not Magic.
A real coach doesn't need to prove it, Paul.
Any comment on Magic's new contract?
A basketball team is like a family. You pick out any one member, others will wonder whether or not they belong.
Would you say you're head coach, interim coach, or?
You look good in that chair. That'd be something, huh? A woman owner.
You could bring him home 100 trophies. You're never gonna be his favorite son. They're the dynasty. We're the flash in the pan. And that's all we're ever gonna be. Until we beat the goddamn Celtics. Fuck Boston.
Boston.
Fuck Boston.
Everybody's a fucking hero in their driveway. Put them under the bright lights. Most of them are praying that the ball don't come to them. One guy's praying that it does.
All
That
right.
looks great.
So what do you think? What do you think of that?
I think it looks good. I enjoyed the first season a lot, so I'm looking forward to getting back to watch more.
We watched season 1 for those of you out there who are listening or watching this. We watched season 1. We have an episode on it, as well as we did, I think, Moon Knight and season 1 of this show together. So if you want to go hear our thoughts on that, go check that one out. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with season 2. It looks like they're maybe gonna potentially cover more than just 1 year in season 2 based off of what we see there. Because season 1 was all just like 1980. But season 2 looks like maybe they're gonna kind of go through a couple things here. We'll see what happens, but I'll definitely be checking it out, and we'll probably do another episode on it at some whenever
Yeah,
it comes
probably.
out. It's done. So, all right. Next up, we have the premiere date of Gen V out as well. So over at Prime Video with Amazon, they will be launching the first 3 episodes on September 29th, and new episodes will be rolling out weekly until this finale on November 3rd. And there's a little there you go. Josh got the poster right there. Gen V from the world of The Boys. So if you guys are unaware about what this is, it's basically gonna be like superhero college in the world of The Boys. And yeah, you can imagine all the shenanigans that are gonna be, happening with that. So it's gonna be wild. But we have a trailer to watch as well, Josh. So let's
check it out.
Check that out.
Ready when you're ready, just count us down.
All right. We will check this out in 3, 2, 1, go.
Being a hero is not about glory. It's about sacrifice.
Welcome to Godolphin University. We've trained the best and brightest young heroes since 1965. Godolphin is a safe space for you to thrive.
Fucking bloodbender over here.
Right?
Marie Moreau, you could be the first top-ranked freshman in history.
I think you meant to say first black woman in the 7.
But you have a target on your back.
A few of us are going off campus. Let's have a good time. I'm sexy, I'm free, and I feel vulgar. I'm still drunk from last night.
Perfect, just take a sip, say Turbo Rush cures hangovers.
I wouldn't pour this on my give it cured cancer.
There are dangerous, evil people at that school.
Everything is.
I exploded his tag.
Oh, hell no.
Freshman class is savage this year.
All right, so there it is. There's another trailer teaser for Gen V. Also, it's kind of hilarious that they censor certain words, but they're like, here's all this blood and all this fucking violence that is just cool. That's just that's pretty funny. But anyway, there you go. Gen V Prime Video on Amazon. Poster and teaser. Speaking of Prime Video teasers, we got another one for The Wheel of Time Season 2 now. And we have a couple other ones from Prime Video as well, but this is the next one. The Wheel of Time Season 2. I have yet to watch Season 1. Josh has seen Season 1.
I have. This might spoil Season 1, to be honest with you.
And he has some thoughts on Season 1, but yeah. So you say that this could spoil it?
Potentially.
Or probably? Or
it has the potential. We'll see. So if we want to watch it, go ahead and count us down. I got it ready.
Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, go.
Everyone has a choice. And every choice has a consequence. We didn't defeat the Dark One. We set him free.
No one should have that much power. Together we face the impossible. But now in our separate corners of the world.
Protecting Rand, guiding him, that is the only thing that matters. You can't control him.
You know you have something inside you. Something that calls for blood.
I want to know how to control it.
The last battle's coming.
The whole world will be ours.
If our friends are in trouble, why would they ever stay here? You have no conception of the power they wield.
You can't do this by yourself.
There are many paths to walk through the night.
It's not always the most powerful who write history. It's the ones who survive.
I'm tired of being a spoke in the wheel.
You're not a spoke, boy. You are the water that turns the wheel itself.
Man, I don't know what's going on in this show, dude, because I haven't seen season 1. So all of this is like not gonna mean much to me because
yeah,
I don't know what's happening, dude. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah. Once you start watching season 1, you'll quickly figure out that they spoiled pretty much everything. Why? It's just the first time seeing it. What do you think of this after watching? What does it make you want to check it out? Is what I'm trying to get at here. Like, does it make you want to look at this world?
Does this trailer specifically make me want to watch it? I mean, like, I was already kind of intrigued by the show to begin with because I've heard a lot about Wheel of Time, but I mean, I don't. If you know me, you guys know that I'm not much of a book reader. So I obviously have not read the books or anything like that, but I've heard enough about it, this series, to be like, oh, there's a show, and I watch more shows than I do read books, obviously. So it was one of those things that, like, yeah, I'll give it a shot at some point. But you guys know how it's been with me in TV, man. I watch movies more than TV, so
yeah,
it's like one of those things that eventually I'll get to. But going back to this trailer specifically, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know if there's anything in this trailer specifically that like makes me want to like watch this like right away or anything like that, but it just seems like another fantasy world that seems at the very least intriguing or interesting,
Yeah.
But like in terms of like what's going on, who the characters are, I don't know anything, dude. I don't know what's going on or nothing, bro. So
yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I read the books and I like the books a lot. I didn't like some of the changes they made with season 1 of the Wheel of Time, but I think it's worth a watch. I like the whole point of it is like this wheel that turns in time and all that. Like as it changes, like the wheel weaves as the wheel wills. So I kind of chalked it up to like the world a little bit of itself. Like this isn't just. It's just not my turning of the wheel, Like I still, I think it's okay. I think it's worth a check out, Like some of the CG's a little rough at times, but
yeah,
this was like when I feel like when the Wheel of Time was being made the first season, like it was really early in the Amazon is making shows time period a little bit.
Was it?
It feels that way to me, at least with the fantasy of it. The fantasy versions of shows. So maybe they found their footing a little bit more. I could be wrong, but it definitely feels that it felt that way to me watching season 1 anyway. Yeah. I think it's worth checking out. I'm not like crazy over it, but I definitely think it's worth checking out.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of been the vibe I've gotten every time we speak about it.
Yeah. What do we got next, DT?
Next up, we have a teaser for season 2 of Invincible.
All right, let's check it out. I like the first season.
I love the first season, so I'm
Majin, but I enjoyed Halo. Just to watch the fanboys get mad.
Yeah, fuck Halo, dude. That show was awful, man. Halo was just so awful.
It gave me such joy, though. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's check this out. 3, 2, 1, go.
For some of you, it probably seemed like this day would never come. Maybe you're even wondering if you're ready for this. For what comes next.
You have no idea what I'm capable of.
I didn't know who he was.
I don't fight friends because I would win.
Never apologize for saving lives.
There's only one way this kid goes back out there, and that's on a very short.
Dude, this voice cast is stacked, bro.
You know people try to kill us every single day, right?
I don't care how old
Like,
he is.
I watched this already because I reacted to it, so you'll see right here in a minute. There's gonna be so many names, dude. Here we go. Look at that. And look at all these other names.
Welcome, son of he.
Insane, bro. The voice cast is insane this
I wish he
season.
was dead too, but not for your sake.
Kill first, ask questions later.
Viltrumite against
Fucking Peter Cullen,
That has
dude.
not happened since the Great Purge. You should have died at birth.
Damn.
Dude, I know that's a cold ass line right there. When I saw that in my reaction, I died laughing, bro, because it's like, what a thing to say, dude. Like fucking Omni Man,
Right.
dude.
Right. And that much, it makes me excited for Baldur's Gate because JK is going to be one of the bad guys in it. It's going to be awesome. And this
man.
looks great too. I enjoyed the first season of Invincible. So it'll be fun to check this out.
All right. They also released a teaser for the Adam Eve special, which is already out, by the way. But let's check the trailer out real quick because they just dropped this like at the same time as the other one we just watched.
Okay.
So 3, you're ready. 3, 2, 1, go.
Adam Eve. I just want to talk about where you came from, where your powers came from.
You know how I used to say I could see molecules? I can also change them around. Move electrons from here to there. It's crazy. Maybe I'm a superhero.
Get out of my way, kid.
Why can't you just be normal?
Your powers, you must stop using them.
But I can help people. I'm a government-designed super weapon. I'm a freaking badass.
Cute.
No, the cape is cute. The name is
Adam Eve. So that is already out. Like, I think it came like whenever they release this trailer, they're like, and it's out now.
Cool.
So yeah, I need to check that out because I love Invincible season 1. So, and I'm excited for season 2. So I'm about
Yeah.
it. Moving on from that, however, we also got news at Comic-Con that the John Wick prequel event series, The Continental, is going to be debuting in September. It will be premiering on the 22nd of September, and then it'll follow with Night 2 on September 22nd, and then Night 3 on October 6th. So as we know, it's going to be a 3-part like miniseries, and we have the dates for when each episode is dropping. So September 22nd for episode 1, September 29th for episode 2, and October 6th for the third one. So they'll be dropping on Fridays for 3 weeks. Yeah.
Okay.
Moving on to some Marvel stuff. We have some Loki season 2 things to talk about here. We got a poster and we got a teaser. We can watch that. Well, not a teaser, an actual trailer. An actual trailer that just came out today. But if you want to throw up that poster first, there it
It's
is.
already up, sir.
Loki season 2, October 6th. There's just a bunch of different Lokis just running around in a circle over the missed minutes. And yeah. So if you're ready, we can
Yes, sir. I'm ready. Let's check out this trailer.
let's check it out. So I was gonna react to this, but I did not. So you guys will be getting my first watch, and I assume Josh's first watch
Yeah.
of this as well.
Yeah.
Right away. So
First one.
let's check it out in 3, 2, 1, go.
It's the boys.
Hobie? Hello? We have a little bit of a situation we wanted to run by you.
Mobius! Wow! Great to see you again!
Hey!
That's what's been happening.
Wow! Time slipping.
Wait, times you
It's
know
boy
that?
Kehu Kwan.
You've seen that?
Yeah.
Can you fix that?
No. It's impossible to time slip in the TVA.
I know, but we just saw it happen.
Yeah.
I've been pulled through time between the past and the present.
Hello?
If what I saw is true, there's nothing to stand between this world and utter destruction.
Only one way to find out.
Dang.
Little good old-fashioned legwork.
Oh yeah.
Listen, we have different styles. You're a man of action, which is fine. I take a more slow, deliberate, cerebral approach. It's really goodbye.
It's up to us
McDonald's.
to save this place.
Is this cracked?
You're good.
Whatever we do, we're playing God.
We are gods. But how do you choose who lives and who dies?
Goo
Make the hard choice.
Hey, there he is. Oh shit, Miss Minutes.
It's on its way.
Come on, you're the god of mischief.
Who Always have been. Always will be.
A little over the top, don't you think? I thought it was spot on.
Yeah, it looks good.
So yeah, it looks cool, man. I think the whole like going back in time and going to different spots kind of thing is gonna be fun. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that. I thought season 1 was solid, was fine. It wasn't my
Yeah.
favorite of the shows, but I liked it enough, so
I like Tom
this
Hiddleston,
hopefully it
and
will be
so
you know.
yeah.
Yeah. No, Tom's always been great as Loki, so
Yeah.
that'll be good. Yeah, and this is actually the next Marvel thing we got coming out too. I'm pretty sure October, yeah, cuz the Marvels is what, November?
I have no idea.
Something like that. Well, we have a Marvels trailer to watch in a little bit, so we'll talk about that when we get to that.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned, friends. But I'm pretty sure Loki's the next thing, and then after that is the Marvels.
Gotcha.
Anyway, yeah, it looks fun though. I'm curious to see what they do with that. So the last thing for TV we have is that Donald Glover and his brother Stephen Glover, or Stephen Glover, I'm not sure which one it is, are teaming up for Disney's Lando series. The deal, first reported by Above the Line, was made prior to the writer's strike, which began in May. Justin Simeon, who was previously attached to develop Lando, exited the Star Wars project prior to the duo signing on. Announced in December of 2020, Donald Glover, who will star in the series, previously played Lando in the 2018 solo Star Wars story. During an interview with THR, Simeon spoke about the Lando project and said he was uncertain about its future. This is what they have him quoted as saying: "The last thing I was told was that they loved it, but they needed to put a pin in it so they could figure out everybody's availability. I have investigated further, but I'm not an idiot. I'm not alone in the experience, but I can't help but wonder, am I too black? Am I too queer? And people just don't want to say that because it seems like I develop things with these companies and they just never happen for reasons unknown. Meanwhile, Donald Glover, along with his brother, has a overall deal with Amazon, has indicated that he was still interested in the project. So, yeah, so he mentioned that he definitely wants to do Lando. So that seems to be the case, that they're going to be, Donald Glover and his brother are going to be writing the Lando series now. So it's been a while since we heard anything about that show. So
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I guess, good to hear something on it again. But yeah, it's just been a while. So but yeah, that's our TV news for the week. So whenever you're ready, we can head on to the movie news and
All right. Let's continue
And
on.
that-
Movie news. I've swapped screen.
all right. So movie news. First thing we got here is that Dune Part 2 eyes pushed to 2024 as Warner Brothers considers new dates for The Color Purple, Aquaman 2 as well. And this was posted a week and a half ago. So this is obviously going to be news for last week's show, but amid two Hollywood labor strikes, Warner Brothers Film Group is strongly considering pushing the film to next year from its current November 3rd slot. Three individuals with knowledge have told Variety. The film is a co-production with Legendary Entertainment, and both parties must agree on a new release date, said one insider. Legendary has yet to be approached by WB about a move. They added another source familiar with Warner Brothers said that releases are moving forward as originally planned and no formal discussions have been had, but noted that the duration of the union battles are completely unpredictable. Spokesperson for Warner Brothers and Laser Entertainment declined to comment on the matter. Additionally, Warner Bros. Is assessing potential new dates for the anticipated movie musical The Color Purple and the DC Studio sequel Aquaman The Lost Kingdom, according to sources. The possible date shuffling comes as a result of striking unions SAG-AFTRA and the Writers Guild of America at war with show business producers for new contracts. A movie like Dune 2 would benefit greatly from the participation of its all-star cast, which includes Austin Butler, Florence Pugh, Javier Bardem, and Josh Brolin. Current union restrictions say those actors cannot promote past or future work made and released by show companies. The Warner Brothers could be looking ahead. Indicates that the studio is not confident either guild strike will be resolved by mid-fall. The Color Purple and an Aquaman sequel are presently dated for December 20th and December 25th, respectively. A title like The Color Purple, one industry player noted, would hinge on a robust awards campaign. So Warner Brothers is not surely not the only studio in town sizing up the release calendar. Major films in the same corridor as the Dune sequel include Disney's The Marvels on November 10th. Well, there you go. So I was right. Loki season 2 will be out before The Marvels. And then the Lionsgate franchise reboot of The Hunger Games on November 17th. And then Sony Columbia Pictures is also going to be releasing the Apple Studios film Napoleon on November 22nd. So as expected, some movies are going to be shifting potentially because of the strikes. I think it makes a lot of sense that they're going to want to do that. So we'll see what ends up happening. As of right now, Dune 2 or any of these other movies have not moved yet, but it is obviously being discussed and they'll see what to do. I'm not sure when these strikes, when they're going to come to an agreement, but they have been going on since May. So we'll see what ends up happening. I mean, as always, I can only hope that they come to an agreement. I just don't know why these studios are just so like persistent on like just holding up all of this stuff. Like, surely eventually they're gonna have to give in and just pay the actors and writers and all these people what they're pay them what they're due and like give them the things that just simple things that they're asking for. Like, I don't understand why they're just delaying stuff for so long. Like
Mhm.
it doesn't make sense to me. But
I think
it is what it is, man.
I think a lot of it has to do with power, right? It's not necessarily about the money as much as it's about how dare you, how dare you guys sit out on all this? How dare you do all this to us who have all this power? It's an odd way of thinking, like I think it happens in politics quite a bit where it's like, I have all this power, how dare you, kind of spit in my face a little bit. Might kind of be like that too, where it's like, we'll show you, we'll just drag our feet and wait and you'll just have nothing in the meantime, kind of like that. Almost like a punishment type deal, which is fucking moronic. Because you're eventually going to have to give them.
Yeah, you're
eventually going to have to make a deal. Like, if you want to keep making content, movies, television shows, all this stuff, you're eventually going to have to make a deal, and being a shitbag about it is going to get you nowhere. Like, it's silly. So I think that's a big chunk of it.
All right. Well, we have other movie news to get to as well.
Let's do it.
such as the Borderlands movie is going to be coming out next year. There's a release date for it. It's a little, not really a poster, but just an image with like cast member names and the logo and very colorful background. It says in theaters August 9th, 2024. So it's about a year away. I'm still really wondering what this movie is going to look like. So we'll have to wait and see what they do.
It's gonna be a glorious train wreck, and I can't wait to see it.
I don't know, man. That's the thing. I don't know what it's gonna look like because they haven't shown us anything, you know. So the movie's about a year away, so surely at some point soon they're gonna have to show a teaser or something, man.
Right.
But at least there's a release date for it now. Here we go. Here's the trailer for the Marvels. We can check this out. We know that the release date now is on November 10th. From that last article that I read. So when you're ready, Josh, I already watched this because I reacted to it.
I'm ready.
I don't know. Have you seen this yet or no?
I have not seen it.
You didn't have internet, so how could you?
I've been disconnected from the world, baby.
Yeah. So let's check it out. This will be Josh's first look at this. So in 3, 2, 1, go.
Carol Danvers, prodigal child of the Milky Way.
Nick Fury, my favorite one-eyed man of intrigue.
How goes it out there?
You know, cold, no air, space.
Captain Marvel, the Annihilator. You took everything from me. And now I'm returning the favor.
What is happening to me? She's entangled our light-based powers. So we switch places whenever we use them.
Strong theory.
You can absorb light. I can see it. And Kamala...
Who's Kamala?
Hi. She can turn light into physical matter, which I have never heard of.
I could totally show you.
No!
Yes, Majin.
She's targeting every planet we call home. I would never choose to bring anybody into this.
You are not the only thing standing between this and the universe.
Oh my god, we're a team.
The kitties.
Higher.
Further. Faster.
Who's a good kitty, Gus?
I can't. Can you?
I got it.
Her black and white costume looks so sick. Alright. I'm gonna say it. That villain looks weak as fuck for this movie. I'm sorry. They just nothing about the villain looks cool or interesting at all to me, and I guess that's kind of the point. It is called the Marvels, but this is gonna come up when we talk about Secret Invasion, where I've kind of cooled on superhero things at the moment. I will end up checking this out. Like I like, you know, our main cast here as the Marvels. But yeah, this looks like another one of those, here's a weak villain in the Marvel history of weak villains in movies for me. So
I agree with that. You know, the MCU hasn't had a good, like, you know, history with villains. Like, some of them are great, like Killmonger and Thanos and Loki, but, you know, then you have your Malekiths and your Aldrich Killians and whatnot. So
Yeah.
you know.
This comment, I think, kind of sums it up. You took everything from me, says every Marvel villain ever. You know, like it's very formulaic and boring, I guess. Like, but it's not a problem with just this movie either, though. Like, that's a problem I have with like the entire current MCU stuff. So, I'm sure we'll talk about that more later on in the show as well. But yeah, I like the main cast. I love Monica's black and white costume. I think it looks fucking sick. And I kind of want to see how they're all gonna interact. I think that's the big selling point of this. Is like not the villain. We have to have a villain because it's a superhero movie. Like the big thing is gonna be all of them together, working through their traumas and issues with each other and being badass heroes, right? So I'm interested in it for that reason, but I'm not necessarily excited for it either.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, those are my thoughts on the Marvels.
All right. Well, we got a couple last few things here to discuss. More movie date shifts, such as Beyond the Spider-Verse has been taken off of Sony's release calendar, and the strikes are delaying Craven and Ghostbusters, the Ghostbusters Afterlife sequel to 2024 as well. So there's been some pretty significant date shifts because of the strikes. So Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, the third film in the animated trilogy here, was meant to open on March 29th, 2024. Due to unions' work stoppage orders, the voice cast cannot complete dialogue recording in time for the spring opening, said a Sony source. And a new date is expected in the coming weeks. The planned sequel to Ghostbusters Afterlife has been pushed from its 2023 Christmas corridor, December 20th, to Easter weekend of next year, March 29th, 2024. So basically, Spider-Verse is kind of indefinitely on hold because they got to finish the voice stuff. And in its place, Ghostbusters Afterlife is going to be taking that spot. The Karate Kid reboot has been kicked from June 7th, 2024 to December 13th, 2024. A Blumhouse project, They Listen, is now undated from the previous August 30th, 2024 date. Madam Web is going from Valentine's Day 2024, 2 days earlier from its planned February 16th date. Venom 3 has received a release date for July 12th, 2024, and Bad Boys 4 is set for June 14th, 2024 as well. Their next big upcoming release is going to be Gran Turismo on August 11th. And they're betting on strong early audience testing and the word of mouth to help the film open on track. So it'll be in select theaters on the weekends of August 11th and August 18th, expanding on a wide release on August 25th. So lots of movie date shifts there with that one. And yeah, that'll do it for our movie news, because that's basically all it is just dates are shifting.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a lot to say on that. Just date shifting. There's a lot in Sony I don't care about. That's kind of what this article told me as you were reading off these movies, and I was like, well, I kind of care about the Ghostbusters sequel, and I care about Beyond the Spider-Verse. The rest of this, I'm indifferent on.
You don't watch.
So
What? You're not excited for Craven, dude? What the hell?
yeah,
Or
no,
fucking
no.
or Gran Turismo? That's coming out like real soon, man. You're not gonna go watch that one right away?
No, like not with my wallet, baby. Like if I had plenty of money in the bank, I'd go watch every movie that came out on its opening weekend.
Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah, I'm the same way. I also would go watch more movies if I had more,
I'm trying to think if I want to go
spare, but
tomorrow to see Oppenheimer or maybe even Barbie, because like tomorrow is like the $5 movie day at the theater, right? So you could get a double feature for $10 if you go. So I was like, that might not be bad, like if I want to go and catch one of those or both of those, who knows? Because I hear good things about the Barbie. I know it means more probably to the women out there, but I would still check it out. But yeah, if we don't have anything else, I think we should take a break, DT.
Oh, we will for sure. Yeah.
And then we'll be right back after this for the second half of the show. We're going to talk about Secret Invasion. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back after this in a few minutes. See you in a bit. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Clockwork Cantina, episode 168. It is time for the second half of the show where we're going to hop into Marvel's Secret Invasion. So let me go ahead and swap over here so you guys know what we're talking about. There'll probably be spoilerinos in here, so be prepared for that.
There's only 6 episodes, so yeah, we're gonna definitely get into it.
So if that bothers you, here is your chance to leave. Feel free to do so and come back after you have seen the show. Okay, DT, how you want to start this off, bud?
So, Marvel's Secret Invasion, the Disney Plus Disney Plus live action series, part of the MCU. We have 6 episodes that were released. It all started on this past month on the 21st, I believe. Of June. So since then, we've had an episode a week. Check out. With it culminating here on July 26th, so this past Wednesday, last week. So I think a lot of people were kind of intrigued about this show because it had like spy thriller kind of vibes, more like Winter Soldier-y kind of a deal. So for that reason, I was pretty interested, and then like I know a few of us, well, you and I at least read the comics, the source material earlier this year in preparation to watch this. But now that we've read that, and now that we have seen all 6 episodes of the show, Josh, how do you feel about it? Because for me, if you want to like gather your thoughts on how you want to say,
go right ahead.
I didn't hate the show, but I feel like the show is underwhelming. Like it wasn't bad, but it was kind of underwhelming. And then with the episodes being as short as they are, it just kind of feels that like they were just speeding through certain things. Like that finale is like, oh, we gotta wrap this all up this episode, and we gotta tie it into the Marvels because that's gonna be the next thing with Fury and the Scrolls and the Kree and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I personally felt that the show was a little underwhelming. that being said, I did enjoy some of the new characters that we got, and just seeing how Sam Jackson played Fury and how Don Cheadle played Brody was pretty cool, and yeah, so I have no issue with the acting or anything like that, but I don't know, story reasons and all that. Like, you also, we'll get into it. How do you feel about it overall?
I'm
We'll
kind
get
of the
into some
same
of
as
the
you.
list.
For me, it's a resounding meh. You know, like it really, you know, it's hard for me to like go into why I feel like it's meh without getting into the show a little bit. But like, I think the acting, like you said, is fine. I actually really like the main theme. That's a positive thing I have to say about it. I like the theme that plays. Like, I kind of dig that. I think it it really kind of fails at what it was trying to show, which is like this kind of espionage, paranoid, who's a scroll, who isn't type of show. And it's like, I never felt that kind of paranoia that there is in the comic, right? Like, and obviously it's going to be different because it's a show and it's like,
Yeah,
it's a totally different thing.
It's
But,
so different, the comic
but
from the show, yeah.
I don't think this deserves to be called Secret Invasion, to be honest with you. Like, I think it should be called something else. Like, if you're gonna take on that name, if you're gonna take on that name, Secret Invasion, you're inviting the fans of those comics to come in and share an adaptation of it, and I think it fucking fails completely at being what that comic is like. It's points, it's important parts, right? Like, you can yank out the paranoia of that comic and put it in the show. It doesn't, that can easily be translated over. I think it really fails at doing that, and I think that's one of the biggest points that makes Secret Invasion the comic so fascinating and fun, and like, who is and who isn't. And it's like, for me, none of that exists here. Like it's like, from the first episode, it doesn't, it kind of fails that to me. So it's, and I am also already, and I've said this earlier, is like, I'm already pretty, and we talked about this in Discord the other night, so like, I'm not gonna go into it very deep. It's just like, I'm very cold on superhero movies in general right now, and or the superhero universe, I guess I should say, because it does translate to the television shows as well. It's like, well, I'm not really getting a lot of things that kind of interest me right now in these worlds, and this definitely did not. Especially as someone that's a fan of Nick Fury. It kind of grew up with like this mythological. I always, like, growing up as a kid, I always thought of Nick Fury as like this mythological, not superhero, but secret agent type character, right? And like, there's things in this show that are just like, I don't understand the writing of necessarily. The CG in that last episode is fucking awful. I think it's terrible. I don't think it's good at all. I don't think it's as bad as like it was at times in Mrs. Marvel or Miss Marvel. Yeah, overall, pretty resounding meh. You know, not a huge fan of it.
Gotcha. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that you're kind of spot on with the like, maybe it shouldn't have been called Secret Invasion, because it just feels like a lot smaller than the comics.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously you're not gonna have all the same characters that are in that in here, because it's just impossible. Like, you just can't bring all, like, certain characters aren't around anymore, or certain characters haven't been introduced yet, whatever. But it just, I don't know, man. Like, this felt more of like a Rhodey and Nick Fury kind of show, you know?
Yeah.
Well, more so like a Nick Fury show, really, than
Yeah.
anything else. And then you have all the other side characters and stuff. Like I enjoyed his like back and forth with Talos and all that. And speaking of Talos, I'm gonna get into some real big spoilers here.
And yeah, go ahead.
But if you've clicked on this, and obviously we're gonna be doing that. So speaking of Talos, they just from the very first episode, they kill off Maria Hill, and then later on they kill off Talos. So those are two big characters that they just are like, bye.
I have some thoughts on that too.
Well, go ahead.
Especially Talos. I was literally watching the episodes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I thought I was on episode 3, and I was like, you know what? I think Ben Mendelsohn's the best part of this show. And then he gets stabbed and dies. And I'm like, of course I had that thought. And then he gets killed. I was like, I'm so glad he's in this. Like, if it wasn't for him being in here, I don't know how much of this I would enjoy, right? And that's exactly what happened. Like, I had the thought, oh, he's great in this. And then he's killed. I was like, that seems about right. And it's just so, like, through the building up to him getting killed, like, I was like, I'm on his side. I like him. I think he's doing great. And then they kill him off, and it's like, why? He could have been in the show the whole time. Like, and it would have been fine. It just feels like stupid.
Do you think it would have been better for them to have killed him off in that final fight that we got in the last episode?
Yeah, why
maybe
not?
he and Gaia go face him, and then
yes,
that way.
I think that would have been better. I think he made a better show right now. With that, like, instead he gets killed off halfway through. He's left lying there, which I also get confused on how they get his body back, or have his body. Like, I don't know. Like, they act like they left with the body in the car. I get kind of confused on it because, like, there's some weird editing or something. But I'm like, how did they get whatever? But yeah, I think if he had died in the final battle, at least that would have had meaning. His daughter would have been there, and it would have meant something more than what it was, which is he died busting open the president's car window and getting him out, and then we're declaring war at the end. Declaring war on the fucking Skrulls. We'll find you and we'll get rid of you.
That was crazy, dude. I was like, this guy
and then
out of pocket.
I'm gonna say it. Nick Fury just fucking leaves again. It makes no sense. In the fucking final episode, he's like, I gotta go clean up my mess. I gotta make this right. He makes things significantly worse and then leaves. It makes no sense. The writing is kind of stupid at times. I don't get it. Like, the whole point of this is, like, Gravik has this grudge with Nick Fury for not upholding his promise, and Nick's like, I gotta go make this right. I gotta go do the right thing. I gotta solve this. I gotta make it better. This is my mess. I have to clean it up. I think that's what he says. He makes a bigger mess.
I mean, he gives those powers to Gaia and Gravik, and, like, he's just banking on the hope that Gaia beats him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because if she doesn't, like, what
I guess he's got powers now. Like, even more. Like, I don't know. The writing there, for a character that's as smart as Nick Fury is, and should be by this point in this history, I just feel like some of it is bad writing. Like, for a character. Like, for him to be that smart, I think it's a disservice to the character. I think it's a disservice to Samuel L. Jackson too. Whoever wrote it like that. Like, it's.
I think, like, they even talk about it in the show, right? They're like, "Oh, why don't you just go call your friends?" You know, the Avengers is basically what they're saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Oh, this is my mess. I gotta solve this mess because it's mine or whatever." Like that's
Way to
what a
go,
way for
Nick.
them.
You
What a
really
way for
solved
them
it.
to, yeah, right. What a way for them to be like, "Oh, well, we can't bring everybody here. You know, this is a Disney Plus show. We can't. This ain't the Avengers movie. You know."
Would it have
Like,
been so hard to
okay.
get some cameos though? Like, would it have been hard to cut to Sam Wilson, or not a Sam Wilson, but a Skrull, and have him turn into Sam Wilson for a second, or to turn in to like uh, some other character, right? A Hawkeye, like just for a second, like a quick cameo. You couldn't do a quick cameo. They don't necessarily have to be in there and establish anything. The Skrull thing is still solved at the end of the episode, or the series. But wouldn't it have been fun to kind of get a couple cameos in there to kind of show the threat of the Skrulls and increase that paranoia a little bit, to see him like kind of changing into all these people? But I guess not. I guess it's just too expensive or whatever. But I don't know, man. The show's pretty meh, you know, for me.
Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah, it's it's just underwhelming. That's what I feel like. Again, like it's I don't know. It's just not. It's not. I don't want to say it's terrible, but
It's not
it's
good.
fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Like you know. We've had better stuff, and just calling it Secret Invasion probably wasn't the best move, you know. But I don't know, man. It just
Why not just call it like Fury or Nick Fury? You know, why give it the anchor that is Secret Invasion if you're not going to be able to live up to it? You know,
it just feels like sometimes they're like, what are some things in the comics we can do that we haven't done yet? Because it also feels like sometimes like this. I I think I talked to Majin about this. Doesn't this feel like the type of show that they should have done years ago already? If it was just gonna be like this, like Nick Fury focused, like
yeah.
it just kind of seems like this is something that they go through the comics and are like, what have we not done yet? Oh, we've done Ultron. Oh, we've done Thanos. We've done. Oh, there's Secret Wars and Secret Invasion and Armor Wars. Those are cool sounding things. Let's do that.
Right.
And it's just like it doesn't even like I get not having everything available because you don't have all the characters or anything, but I don't know, man. It just feels like they're just kind of doing a checklist of like, all right, let's do this. This is gonna be the next thing we
Yeah.
do.
It feels like there's no heart in it. Like, where's the passion? You know, like, where's the creativity? Like, not everything has to be an adaptation from comics. Like, you can obviously be inspired from that, but why not make some original content? You're a completely different universe. You don't have the build necessarily set up for all the comic stuff, you know? Like, get some creative people in there and make some of your own. Not everything has to be an adaptation necessarily. Right? Like, why don't they do some of that? You know, like take a little lesson from Star Wars, which obviously has its own problems sometimes, but at least a lot of the stuff coming from that part of the Disney mega giant is like, here's some original stuff, you know? Here's Ahsoka, and here's what's gonna happen after all this time later. Here's the Mandalorian, right? Was the Mandalorian not like fucking like such a fantastic new thing? You know, it wasn't like taken from any books anywhere, you know, like it was its own kind of creative content, you know, like I feel like the MCU has this problem where it feels like it has to, if it's not from a comic, we're not going to deal with it, and we're going, and just like you said, we're going down a checklist, right? And like they have a formula to how things work, and that formula, they've done it so much it's gotten stale for me over time. And some of writing is just stupid. Like like I was saying, the whole Nick Fury, this is my mess, I gotta clean it up, and then I'm gonna leave again. Leaving behind a bigger mess for the Skrulls, who are now gonna be hunted down and killed, along with innocent people that might also aren't Skrulls anymore, but random terrorists think they are, so I'm gonna kill them. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's and that ending might be a little bit more believable of people randomly being killed if I felt the paranoia that exists in the comic version and but does not exist for me at all in the television series. You know? Like the whole end with Nick and Gravik, right, having the talk at the end. The whole time I knew that wasn't Nick Fury. I knew that was probably Gaia the entire... That was not a surprise to me. Like, come on. Like, I don't know. It feels weak, I guess.
So another topic of conversation that's popped up is like, well, how long has Rhodey been a Skrull? How long has what's his name? Martin Freeman's character, Agent I always forget his name, dude. The colonizer.
Ross.
Remember?
Ross? Everett Ross?
Agent Ross. Yes. That's him. That's him. So it's like, oh, how long has Rhodey been in a Skrull? How long has Ross been a Skrull? You know, it's like, well, fuck, I don't know, dude. They who knows how long they've been down there for, you know? Who knows, man?
Yeah. I don't know. It's also one of those things where it's like, at times, because it's 6 episodes, they don't have a lot of time, so it feels rushed at times. Like, when,
Yeah, I mean, not even the fact that it's just 6 episodes, but the fact that they're so short. Like,
yeah.
Dude, I remember watching the finale, and I was like, I'm like, it's over already? And I look at the time, it's only been like 33 minutes or something. I'm like, bro, how is your finale only going to be 33 minutes? Like, I get that. I guess we're now in an age of TV where like episodes are not set to a strict half-hour length or hour length or whatever. Like, they're kind of just however long it takes for you to tell your story. But even then, I don't feel like these shows have done well at that so far. At least that's how I feel about it. I don't know.
Yeah. The whole, like, Gravik being betrayed in New Skrullos, right? And they try to kill him. There's no build up to that. It just happens after he does one thing. And it's like, you guys followed this dude for this long. He does one thing and all of a sudden you turned on him. It's just not good writing. And then we don't even see him. He like kills fucking everybody, I guess, in the fucking town, because we just see bodies everywhere. And I feel like you could have, if you had more episodes or used your time more wisely that you did have, or made it longer, you could have built to that instead of, here's this sudden but inevitable betrayal. Like, I don't know. It just felt really out of left field for me at times when it did stuff like that. And I am going to bring this up, which is like the Secret Invasion director said something about not feeling bad or about disappointing Marvel fans because he says, is it our job to fulfill their expectations? Yes, it is your job. That's your whole job, is to make content, isn't it? Don't you want to make, like, otherwise what's the point of making anything? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand that take on it or what he actually meant. But like, creating
what was the thing he said, really?
Let me get the exact quote for you here.
Okay.
How about that? I'll just read the whole quote instead of just the hotline. Let's see here. The director behind Secret Invasion has said he doesn't feel bad about garnering some disappointing reviews from some, in quotes, rabid Marvel fans. I don't feel like I'm a rabid Marvel fan, so I'm finding it kind of still disappointed in it. Having just watched the final installment of the long-awaited MCU series air on Disney Plus, the 6th episode of the limited series clocked up a critical rating below 10% on Rotten Tomatoes. However, director Ali Salim has responded and said he doesn't pay attention to reviews. And when asked about a certain amount of backlash to the aspects of the MCU series, he says, "I don't know. Is it our job to fulfill expectations or to tell the story that we're telling?" He says, "I don't read reviews with all due respect. For me, I view all the storytelling work I do as a dialogue with an audience. When the show is finished and put up on the screen, that's my half of the dialogue, and the audience then starts their half of the response to it." Projects resonate with different people at different times for different reasons, and Marvel has a very devoted, even rabid fan base who have expectations, and when their expectations are fulfilled, they move in other directions. They give it a thumbs down. He says, "I don't know, is it our job to fulfill their expectations or to tell the story that we're telling?" So it's a tricky thing. Yeah, I like fulfill expectations, like not necessarily, but creating a meaningful story that's coherent and doesn't have contradictions. I mean, that's kind of the job, right? Like they should have created for Secret Invasion, I feel, like a paranoid atmosphere if you're going to take on that name, and they advertise it almost like it's supposed to be this paranoid atmosphere, and it's not that. And so I think he failed at his job. To be honest with you, if that's what they're trying to tell. Like, I don't know. Like, I kind of see his point, but at the same time, like, you're dealing, like, I understand there's going to be a sect of fans that are going to be jerks, probably no matter what you do, but I also don't necessarily like that response that he has either about, you know, is it our job to fulfill their expectations? I kind of feel like that is your job a little bit. Like, to make a product that, at the very least, kind of makes sense and coherency, right? Like, am I wrong? Am I reading that wrong, maybe? I don't know. That's just kind of what I'm saying off the top of my head when I read that.
No, I mean, like, whenever you have people trying to, like, adapt something from, in this case, a comic to a show, you or the creatives obviously want to do their own take on it, their own version of it. And I mean, you have to, because, like, there's no way that you could one for one do Secret Invasion. It's just not possible, you know. Um, so it's rough, you know, because, like, you're never gonna 100% satisfy everybody, you know. And what you can you can only try to do, well, the only thing you can try to do is your best, right? And your best, uh, what's the phrase I'm trying to say here? Not everybody may agree with it, right? Like, whatever you think the best version of what this could be, somebody else might look at that and be like, this is not anywhere near what I think it is, or, you know. So I don't know. It's being a creative, I think, is just difficult because, I mean, it's difficult in general, but, like, whenever you're adapting something that's already well established and well loved, like something like Marvel is, you know, it's always going to be a rough time. But I don't know, man. Just
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You try your best, and not everybody's gonna agree with it, but you hope that, you know, you at least did some things right, or
Yeah.
you know,
It's just,
similar, but and I get what you mean though, for sure.
I think it's just like when you take the name on of something, right? Like a Secret Invasion. And I'm going to bring up another show here that I don't want to, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. The Witcher TV series, right? You're taking on the name of The Witcher or the name of Secret Invasion. And that is going to come with certain expectations. And when you are adapting a thing, it is your job to capture some of those expectations and try to grab those, what made that great, and improve things in your adaptation of that thing, right? And I bring up The Witcher because it has obviously, in my estimation, failed terribly at that, to the point where
I agree with that one.
they literally talk shit about Henry Cavill at times, and I think it is ridiculous, and I think the showrunner should be ashamed. And that. So when he says things like he said here about this, well, this project came with certain expectations. You should have known that when you took the job, and it's going to come with fans with those expectations. Your job, I feel like, should have been like to try to capture the essence of what made that great and improve things, right? I think they did the opposite of that, because they took a thing that should have been a paranoid secret agent, who can we trust, who can we not type thriller, and turned it into just, this is boring to me, you know, at times. Long periods of times where it's just not really grabbing me. And I think some of the writing doesn't make sense and things like that. You mean to tell me that a comic book with an unstoried history makes more sense to me than a MCU TV series with 6 episodes? Yeah, it did. So, like, I don't know, man. Those are just kind of like some of the things that are going on in my mind when I read what the creative people have to say about this and expectations. Well, if you didn't want those expectations of a Secret Invasion from the comics, then maybe it should have a different name. You know, like, just saying, because this I don't think is worthy of being called Secret Invasion. You know?
Yeah, no, I got you.
Yeah. All that's off the cuff, guys, too. So cut me some slack.
You kind of mentioned Gravik briefly a little bit earlier, but how'd you feel about like Gravik as like a villain, and like, you know, like you said earlier, like just being the reason why he's so upset basically is because of Fury and you know, not keeping his promise or whatever.
Yeah. And that's another thing that we don't, like, I think the actor's fine. I think the issue is
like the motivation, basically.
Yeah, so
behind what he's getting all his people to do, right?
Yeah, so what we get in the show is like young Nick Fury is like using scrolls in his special operations with S.H.I.E.L.D. and sending them on missions and getting them to kill people. We're told about all this. We're never shown really any of it other than when he's like, this is Gravik. We see the introduction of Gravik. I feel like the motivation is kind of weak when we don't see his kind of descent, because all it comes down is, Nick, you didn't keep your word, so I'm all mad now and I'm gonna kill everybody. You know what I mean? As opposed to like seeing how taking human life might affect somebody like Gravik, or how he's kind of the Skrulls in general are used by Nick Fury in all these special clandestine operations around the world, right? All that stuff is implied. We're never shown any of it. So what you get is the end product instead of seeing how we get there. And seeing how this person is kind of gone kind of insane, or have just developed this terroristic type ideology about it. It all comes down to, Nick, you didn't keep your promise, right? Like, that's the thing. So I feel like it's another one of those things where better writing, if you had better writing, you can probably get away with that. But here it's you don't get the good writing of that. You just get the. You remember this face, Nick? It's the one of the first people you sent me the kill, you know, and like, and that's kind of like the only, yeah, you know, like that's kind of weaker there with on the graphic side, I guess. He's a villain. He's a villain without us really getting to see why he's got his kind of motive and villain. Even
And then on
so I was gonna say, even Love and Thunder gave us let us saw Christian Bale and how he kind of failed and became what he becomes, right? This show doesn't even really show us that with Gravik necessarily. Like, what's his breaking point where he really turns on Nick? I feel like you could have shown us a flashback there that may have helped us establish with it a little bit. But hey, what are you gonna say, sir?
no, just like yeah, we so going back to Fury also, like we got to see that he has a wife
Mm-hmm.
that has been kind of just around for a very long time and we just didn't know about. Because obviously he's off doing his thing.
I do like that. I do. That is one part of the show I do like, is Nick having a wife and the interactions with her character as well, between Nick and her. I do think
Yeah.
that's good. I do like that. Everybody knows I'm a sucker for a love story, and they don't always give me kind of one over on that. So I do find that interesting. I think it's a cool choice. Yeah.
I mean, we haven't even mentioned like we talked about Talos like leaving, you know, or not leaving, but you know what I mean. Getting popped. From Maria Hill, dude, right off the bat, just gets dropped. Like,
yeah,
they made it seem like she was gonna be a main character, which you know, good misdirection on their part, I guess. But at the end of the episode, you're like, oh, maybe she's not actually dead. They're like, and guest starring. Oh man, that was that was quite something, man.
Yeah. Yeah, they had to set stakes, I guess, for
Right off the bat, man. Which I mean, I thought it was like when I first saw that, I was like, "Oh, this is okay. This is gonna be interesting series if this is how we're starting off." You know, like yeah, because like I wasn't even sure if she was like dead, because you know that's the whole thing of like, oh, you know, who's a scroll, who's not. Like, is that actually her? Is that actually not? So that's kind of how I was at the beginning, but obviously, you know, by the end of the episode, you're like, oh no, it's actually her. But yeah, I mean, it sucks that we had to lose, you know, we lost her, but I mean, at some point it was gonna happen, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
With all these characters, at a certain point, you're just, you know, some of these actors have been working on these movies and shows for years. I mean, Kobe Smulders has been on since what? Shit. Phase 1. But I'm trying to remember what, like, the first thing she showed up in. I know she was in Avengers, but like, was she in anything before that?
Was it Avengers? I don't know if it was anything before Avengers.
I think maybe I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember. But Avengers is like the first clear thing I remember seeing her in.
Yeah, same.
So maybe it was that. So yeah, she's been in it since then, man. And it's like, you know, I get it. It's like, you know, Chris Evans and Robert Downey with Iron Man and Cap, right? Like eventually, like these, you know, these actors and actresses are just gonna want to have to be like, you know, I did my time, you know.
Yeah.
It's time for me to move on. So makes
I just kind of
sense, I
wish it
guess.
for a character. Why do the Agents of Shield get the shitty end of the stick when it comes to deaths, right? Like, at least Coulson is kind of what happens with him, but I want them to kind of have like a more heroic death, I guess, for somebody that's been around for so long. I get that that is not how the world works, but that's why we watch fucking superhero movies, right? To have these great moments with these characters. So I don't know. I felt like a character that's been around for so long, she kind of deserved a bigger moment to. It's a thing that happens in tabletop a lot, where it's like, give this character, if this character's gonna die, give them a moment to shine before they go, you know. And it's like, well, if she was gonna die, I wish she'd had a bit more of a moment to shine before she went, you know. So, like at least Talos, when he's killed, you know, he breaks the president's fucking bulletproof window and gets him out before he's, you know, knocked off. The only thing that kind of happens with Maria Hill is that she sees herself get shot by Nick Fury. You know, like I don't know, which is not Nick Fury. It's Gravik. So I don't know. It's okay, I guess. I just kind of always want more from characters that are meant to be kind of heroic. So it kind of sucked, I guess, for me. I hate to see her go, especially because it's like, obviously you hate to see people that have been there, like, and that you like from the start, kind of leave. But she's gotta move on out. I just wish she'd gotten a little bit more room to shine, is all.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going back to the agent stuff. I was expecting like Agent Brand. You remember her from the comics? I was like, maybe she'll show up at some point for something. Nope. But I did like Sonya
Yeah.
Fallsworth.
Olivia
She was a
Colman's
great
great.
character, played by Olivia Colman. Fantastic. Definitely one of my favorite new characters. And the way that her and Gaia kind of linked up at the end there is going to be interesting.
Yeah. So I think the thing that struck me with Olivia Colman as that character is like, do you remember when we watched Casablanca, or we watched some of these older type movies, the dialogue is quick and snappy? That's exactly how her character is. Her character is quick, snappy, no nonsense. It feels almost like the way she acts is almost like a throwback to those older movies, where she's always got something smart to say, and it's always really quick, and it's always really sharp, and it's always really good. So Olivia Colman, like, probably after Ben Mendelsohn, is like the next best thing for me. Which is why I didn't say, oh, she's a good reason why I'm watching the show, because I was like, well, they'll probably kill her off if I have that thought again, so I stopped thinking that. But yeah, I thought she was great. I enjoyed her thoroughly as that character.
No, yeah, she was great. Like I said, I really don't have any issues. I said earlier, I don't really have any issues with the acting. Like, that's not a problem I had at all with the show.
Mm. What's funny about Olivia Colman is I just saw her in something else not that long ago, you know? Like,
oh yeah.
And it was like right before like Secret Invasion started, and then she showed up, and then I was like, hey, it's Olivia Colman. I just saw her in this other thing, you know?
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, that's yeah, I don't know. Secret Invasion, man. What did you have like? I know you said it was all pretty like for you, but was there any episode in particular that stood out, or was it all just because I watched this week to week, but you watched it kind of like all like you binged it, right? Is that how you
I watched the first two episodes kind of week to week, and then I kind of fell off watching it because like I said, I've gotten kind of cold. So I don't know. I posted in like the Marvel channel a few weeks ago on your Discord where I was like, you know, I'm really not feeling like the superhero stuff lately, and that was kind of right around watching Secret Invasion. I think that's kind of what prompted it, was watching Secret Invasion, and So I kind of fell off of it, and then I knew I was gonna have to watch it because we have it on the calendar, and I still wanted to do I still wanted to do the show on it, obviously. And then the power thing happened as well, and that kind of
obviously there's nothing you do about that, so you know.
And I was gonna watch it, so that was the thing, is I was gonna watch during that week and get caught up, and then that happened. So yeah, I kind of ended up binging the next episodes, 4 episodes, all at once. Do I have a favorite episode? Or if there's I don't know if I necessarily have a favorite episode. I have a couple of moments I like, which you like when Nick is gearing up in that second to last episode at the end in that graveyard, and getting like the eye patch and
getting
code
stuff back,
and he starts to walk away and it's playing the theme, because I actually really like the theme of the show, like the main theme of the show.
That was a good moment, yeah.
And it like cuts, like I like that
Nick
part
Fury's
of the show.
back.
Yeah. It's like, this is the Nick we know. So other than that,
some
not
things that
really
stood
a
out
lot.
for me, like
Yeah.
all the interactions with like Rhodey and Nick, you know,
Mhm.
and then like Talos and Nick when they were like in the car, that shit had me cracking up, man. That was so fun.
Yeah, I do like a lot of the
some
Talos and
of
Nick
those interactions
moments.
for sure. And then just a lot of the Olivia Colman, Sonia Fallsworth stuff was really good. So those are kind of the things that stood out for me. Kingsley Ben-Adir was fine as Gravik. He never really did anything that made me be like, "Wow, man, what a villain," you know. But that may have just been what they had him work with, you know. So,
Mhm.
but yeah,
But
I mean, like I said,
he's gonna play Bob
go ahead.
Marley at that Bob Marley movie.
He is, yeah, he's gonna be Bob Marley. But yeah, for me, just overall, just kind of underwhelming, dude. Like,
Yeah.
again, I don't want to say it's bad or terrible, but like, I don't know, man. Just there was just something missing, yeah. Like, and we talked about like the comic, you know, stuff, the differences. I mean, obviously it's hugely different, and you can't, you know, we already mentioned all that stuff, but
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I feel like they could have done more here in the MCU, and again, just one of the issues that I keep having with all these Disney Plus shows is that the episodes are too damn short, man. They're too damn short. Because it always feels like they're building up to something, and then when they end it in the last episode, they have to like do it really quickly because, you know, we got half an hour to do it all. It's like, why do that? I don't like that, man.
Well, that's why, like,
in
storytelling, you build to a climax, right? And they build to a climax, and then, but the thing is, like, you're supposed to go downhill afterwards, right? A little bit. It doesn't, for me, it always crashes. Like, it's like, here's climax, and then pew. You know, like, it just fucking ends. It falls flat, like, completely. Whereas, like, there's no de-escalation. We're escalating, climax, de-escalation. That's kind of how you build in a story, right? With MCU stuff, it's always like, build, climax, crash. You know? Like, it just kind of ends. And I think they need to re-look at that formula and look at, like, the de-escalation part of it, because it just falls flat. And it's fallen flat, like, almost every time for me at times. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how else to kind of put it. Yeah, I think they should kind of look at that.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I mean that's pretty much my thoughts on Secret Invasion, man. I don't know. Is there anything else you want to add on to what we've already kind of discussed? I mean, I don't really have much else to say.
I don't have a lot to say, but Emilia Clarke played Gaia, and I thought she was fine. You know,
yeah. Shoot.
Just wanted to mention her name.
It was funny seeing the CG on her though, when like, you know, the whole switch happens. She's got like the Drax arm or the big arm or whatever. I'm like, that just looks silly, dude.
No, she. You gave me you opened my third eye. You made me remember.
Hey man, say this is the time, dude. Because
there's a point where like right after she first changes and her arm changes and she starts walking, and I was like, why does she have a baby arm? Because it looks so small. I was like, oh my gosh, she's got a baby arm. I was like, this looks so bad.
She is a tiny woman though, dude. She is a tiny girl.
I know that, but this was not like. If you've ever seen American Dad, in one of the episodes, Stan loses his legs and Roger puts some alien goo on his legs to regrow his legs, and he gets little baby legs, and they Roger says, "This is my partner, baby legs O'Houlihan." All I could think was this is baby arms O'Houlihan right here. Because even though it's mutated, right, it should look big. It looks, it looks not even normal. It looks smaller than it should be, and it just looks weird. And all I could think is like baby legs O'Houlihan, and like that moment made me think the CG is just. I was like, oh, I'm not looking forward to the rest of this if this looks that bad. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a lot more to say on Secret Invasion. I think that's a good stopping point. And also, I'm kind of hungry, DT, and I don't know about you, so let's just go ahead and wrap this up.
yeah, we'll do that. That's Secret Invasion, Marvel Secret Invasion. Let me know what you guys think about it. Cause it's that was the most recent thing we had, and of course we wanted to check it out and talk about it, especially since we read the comics earlier this year to prep for this. So yeah.
All right. DT, I'm gonna throw it over to you so you can say your goodbyes, sir. I'm gonna throw you up. You're on the main screen.
Thank you guys for watching and hanging out and all that good stuff. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you for being here. What is coming up for me? I'm gonna be playing some random games this week. Now that I finished Assassin's Creed Unity on stream, I just want to do like just play whatever next few days. So I'm gonna be playing all kinds of stuff. So come check out the stream. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week on the Clockwork Cantina. Have a good one, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching the show and checking us out. Coming up for me, I think we're going to try to get back to our normal schedule tomorrow with Final Fantasy, and then Baldur's Gate drops on Thursday. I'm going to have to download that, but we'll probably start playing that as well because I really want to stream it, I think. And I haven't decided 100% sure how I'm going to do it. Like, it might be a Baldur's Gate stream and then a Final Fantasy 16 stream and then a Baldur's Gate stream and, just kind of alternate back and forth. Because the storm really set me back. I was hoping to have Final Fantasy 16 complete. Unfortunately, the storm happened and kind of really ruined those plans. If you guys like the show, follow, subscribe, all that stuff down below. Make sure to subscribe to DT's channel as well. He'll be the one hosting the show on YouTube. We'll see you guys next week. And take it easy. Take care of yourselves. Love each other. All that good stuff. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.